Welcoming guys to a recap every single NFL team for the 2022 season. We're back in the AFC East with the Miami Dolphins, and you look at the 2021 season. It was an absolute mess. Brian Flores and Chris Greer just they did some bad things. Tua wasn't looking too good. The whole team, the whole mindset and culture at the Dolphins needed to change. And then you go into this off season and Chris Greer is still the head coach. I'm like, really? Like, you're really you're keeping this guy, Chris Greer as a GM, as a GM. You're still keeping this guy. He's been around for 20 years, and he's done so many bad decisions. And then the 2022 season, he comes in, gets brings in Mike McDaniels from the 49ers. He's part of that. Kyle Shanahan learning tree's been in that. He was part of the offensive. He was the offensive coordinator for a couple of years in San Francisco. He comes in. He's a young head coach. He's 38, 39. And comes in, and first thing they do is invest heavily on the offensive side of the ball. It's okay working the defense Bears, working the defense side of the ball, but when the NFL is heavily offensive, and the defense is secondary, but they invested heavily on the offensive side of the ball. They got Tyreek Hill. They got Jeff Wilson from the 49ers. Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs. Jeff Wilson from the 49ers. Bradley Chubb they got in the trade in November, and they gave the Broncos a couple of picks, and it changed for that. The Dolphins did give away their 21st pick in the first round to get Bradley Chubb, and they finished the season second in the playoffs for the first time since 2016. They also you had Mike McDaniels, the first head coach to win his first head coach. To win his first head coach as a Dolphin since like 2006 when Nick Saban did that. That was a good stat. They beat the Patriots for the first time since 2000 on the road, so that was pretty impressive. They finished the season 8-9 in the regular season, get to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. Then in passing yards, they was fourth in passing yards, points for. They was 11th in points for. Rushing yards, they was 24th. You had points against, it was 24th. Tua had 3,974 yards, passing yards this season. So again, Tua had a good year. You could see that under new head coach, Tua had a great lease of life. He could actually pass the ball. He had weapons around him, which was good. Again, this Dolphins team is a good young upstarting team, and I'm excited to see what they do in the off season. In the draft, they have a second round pick and a third round pick, and they have a 6th round pick, 7th round pick. And so whatever. But I'm excited to see what they do in the draft in the off season. Because again, you look at the AFC East, the Bills the last couple of years they've been building this great team in the AFC East. But then you look at the Dolphins. I mean, if you're a Dolphins fan, this is a great time to be a fan of the Dolphins, because you look at the AFC East, you've got New England who are in transition, and they need a lot of work. I've talked about that in my last video about New England, so I'm not going to go into it here. You got the Jets, who are a young team. Got it worked out defensively, but not offensively. I'll talk about those guys as well at a later date. But you look at the Dolphins, if they get their shit together in the off season and they continue on this trajectory of investing in the draft and doing well in the off season or in the free agency market, they could, they're gonna be a good perfect challengers to win the AFC East. Really challenge the Bills in that division. What do they need? So their needs are they need a running back, they need a cornerback, a linebacker, tight end, inside linebacker, and another offensive tackle, an edge. So there's a lot of things that they need still to improve this team. But again, year one has done so well for Mike McDaniel, and you look at the rookie head coaches that we've had this year, from Kevin O'Connell to Nathaniel Hacks to I'm not going to say Josh McDaniel because he had a head coaching job before, but you know what I mean. You have a lot of, you have Mike McDaniel again. What a great thing he did in the playoffs. He did great with his team, and hopefully they do well in year two. Peace.